tell you one girl I know about. She was 2 years old. She had her first memory. Is her dad abusing her mom. They got divorced. He left the family. And he's one of these guys out there, male enough to get a girl pregnant, but not man enough to be a daddy. So she's raised with no father. She gets to high school. She doesn't know how a gentleman should treat a lady. This big football player asks her out, and they start dating, and then he says to her, honey, I've never felt this way about a girl before. I love you. And for her, those words were magic. She never heard that at home. And she said, well, I love you too, Ruben. He said, if you love me, show me. She knew what that meant. So she went to her girlfriend in the cafeteria. She said, Ruben wants to start doing this and that. What do you guys think? They said, you like him, right? She was, yeah, I like him. Then they go, that's not a big deal. Everybody's doing it. Don't be a prude. Look, as long as you feel ready, get it over with. So she figured, yeah, it's not a big deal. And at the age of 15, she lost her virginity, thinking they'd be forever in love. She said, in all actuality, all respect was thrown out the window. But she said, after a while, he didn't want to spend time with me anymore. He was basically spending the time with my body. Because when a girl is getting used, she knows it. She tries to distract herself, but she knows there's no peace. He lost respect for her. They start fighting more. Because every time they're together, it's all he wanted. And she'd give him sex for the sake of feeling love. He'd just give her love for the sake of sex. Eventually, they broke up. She said, I will never forget the day he walked away for the very last time. She said, all I could think to myself is that guy's leaving with something that never belonged in the first place, and I'm never going to get it back. Not a virgin now. What's the whole point of waiting for marriage? It's too late for me anyway. Started a cycle of these relationships. She got to be a junior on campus. Biggest stud at school asked her out. They started dating, and then he says to her, honey, I've never felt this way about a girl before. I love you. She's like, I love you too, Andre. He goes, if you love me, you'll show me. So she goes back to girlfriends. She goes, now Andre wants to start doing it. What do you guys think? They said, look, let's set some standards. Let's not sleep with our boyfriends for 6 months. If he can hold out with no sex for that long, then I know he loves me, and then we'll sleep together. And now she looks back and thinks 6 months? 6 months is the price I put on my body. 6 months is time, attention, phone calls, that's love. So he held out for 6 months, they started sleeping together. Now he really lost respect. He started cheating on her, abusing her, physically abusing her in front of other guys who weren't man enough to protect her. Started emotionally abusing her. Girl, you're so fat, you're so stupid, you're so ugly. Stupid, she got straight A's in college. Fat and ugly, the girl was a kickboxer, voted the prettiest girl in the high school of 3,000 students. But he had her convinced she's fat and ugly. She was miserable. She said those Saturday nights, all my friends would say to me, it's all fun and games. But she said, you wake up the next morning, to the fun and games were over. I woke up hating myself. She said, I'd be in the bathroom in the morning, flipping over my pregnancy test, scared to death. But then I go to school that morning, biggest mask on my face. I am so happy. Put a mask on for my parents, one for church, one for the boys, one for my friends. She said, I was so sick of living like that, but I didn't know any way out. Her mom found her birth control pills and said, look, you're going to a chastity talk. She goes, no, I'm not going to your stupid sex talk. I've heard those before. Mom's like, I don't care, you're going. Forces her to go. Now, I don't know who gave her the talk. It wasn't me. But she said that guy got up there, and the 1 hour I sat still, she said my life did a 180. She said the guy was so honest, blunt, real. He didn't judge any of us. But she said, do you know what? It felt like he took my hand out of the audience and walked through my whole life with me. Because he had done all the stuff I had done, all sex, smoking, drinking. But she said, he had something I didn't have. I wanted it back. He had a backbone. He wasn't ashamed of himself. I wanted that. So after the talk, she went up to him. They talked for a long time. She took his advice, start over. She went home and wrote down a list. 60 things she dreamed of in a future husband. Why, never again would she settle for less than a man. And then that weekend, the guys called her up. Hey girl, want to hook up? Go over to Andre's house. She wasn't stupid, she knew what they're after. So for the first time in her life, she turned them down. And she stayed home a little lonely, and then she wrote her first love letter to her future husband. I said no to them tonight out of love for you. I'm respecting my body this night, I respect for you. I can't wait for the day we're gonna meet with all my hopes and prayers and dreams, and she signs it. Next weekend they called her back. Hey girl, where you been? Trying to be too good for us? They tried to make her feel guilty for taking care of herself for once. She turned them down again. Another love letter. And every time she was tempted to go back to that life, she'd read the old letters, write a new one. Now she got stronger, and that stack of letters got thicker and thicker and thicker. Now, Why do you think I know all this stuff about that girl? It's because she's the girl who gave me every single one of those letters on our honeymoon when I married her 7 years ago. This girl is my wife. She's my, thank you. This is my wife. She's my bride.